Hello YouTube and welcome back to Flight Sim World. We're still in Community Update 11 in this video, so if you're watching it after a little while, this is a Community Update 11 video. It's not a review of Community Update 11 or anything like that, it's just a video in Community Update 11. In this video I'm just going to be doing a very simple flight from London City Airport. As you can see, I'm at London City Airport. There's two Canary Wharfs. That's an issue that still needs to be resolved. There should only be that one there. That is wrong. That's an issue from Flight Simulator that just seems to have carried on. I can see the BT tower over there. There's the Gherkin over there. So yeah, we're just gonna fly. We're just gonna fly around a little bit, and we're just gonna fly to Heathrow Airport. And in this episode, I am going to be talking about. Let's have a look. I'm going to be talking about, is this all on? I don't even know if that's on. Yeah, that's on. What updates need to be done, in my opinion, to Flight Sim World? As well as that, I'm going to be talking about a series that I'm going to be starting, or wanting to start, and I want your opinions on it before I actually start this. Right, make sure this is off. We're going to make sure we keep all this off, because I want to make sure I can fly this correctly. What needs to be done here? Anything else? Let's have a look. Lights don't need to be on. That's fine. I'll bring that back. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Everything here seems to be okay. Anything on this side? No. I think there is one thing I'm missing. It's probably the pitot heat. Where is that? What's this? Cabin pressure, safe and dumping. Okay. Where is that I'm looking for? I know what I'm looking for, and I haven't got a clue where it is. Oh well, does it really matter? I don't think it really matters. We should be able to fly perfectly. Yeah, perfectly fine like this. Okay, so we're just going to take off, and then I will start explaining what I'm going to do. In fact, I'm going to start explaining right now. So let's crank up the throttle. Perfect. Wait till we hit around 70, hold on, 80 knots, there we go. And lift off, or take off, positive rate, gear up. Wait till we get to about 100, and I'll bring the flaps in, and we'll start our turn. Which way should we turn? We'll turn this way. 100, flaps up, and begin the turn. Keeping a decent climb rate, like so. So, what I want to do is I want to create a series. I want to start a series in which we, or you guys, can learn all about flying aircraft right from scratch. So this is for people who are new to Sims or new to flying aircraft, who are just interested in flying aircraft. The pitot heat button's over here, by the way, I just remembered. That one and that one and that one. There we go. So those people who are new to flying aircraft or just want to learn a lot about aircraft, this is going to be one for you guys, and that's exactly what I want to do. Now it's going to be quite interesting. We're just going to head west. It is going to be quite interesting because there's going to be a lot of teaching right from the start. So it's going to be full-blown tutorials where you can learn right from the beginning. You're going to be learning about every button in a cockpit. We'll start off with one aircraft. We'll start with, you know, a basic aircraft, maybe something like this, or or the Piper. The Piper's a very nice aircraft to start with. And you will be learning all about that. We'll be learning about squawking, so all these squawk codes, transponder codes. We'll be learning about, you know, what each of these do, what every little bit means, using ILS instruments, using ADF, using the radios, understanding tuning things, understanding basically everything about flying aircraft. Now, the way I want to do this is a little bit different. Right, so Heathrow's actually right there. You can actually just see Heathrow. Right there. That's Heathrow. What we're going to do is we're actually going to fly past Heathrow and then turn it around. And I want to get myself up to, actually, you know what? This is a decent altitude. I'm actually going to, yeah, this is actually a decent altitude. Let's level ourselves off. Yeah, I know it's going to complain that it's not mixed. The mixture's not correct, but I'm going to actually drop ourselves ever so slightly back down to 2,500 feet. So that's what I want to be doing. I think it's going to be one that you guys are really going to enjoy. It's one of those. It's going to be one of those series where everything is explained in as much detail as possible. We'll be doing circuits, we'll be talking about correctly banked turns, we'll be talking about stalling, we'll be talking about using these instruments. I know I've had a few comments saying that you know, with advice about using these instruments, and I think it's worth passing that advice along. Plus, I've pulled up the manuals for all these things, so you know, I'll be able to show that and teach you guys about that. You know what? This aircraft loves to pull to the left for some reason. There we go. That's better. Right. Should we? Nope. Now it's pulling to the right. Fantastic. A bit crazy. This aircraft is a little odd. It does have a tendency to pull to the left, but we're flying very, very okay now, I think. So I'm quite happy with that. The river's just here. There it is. We're actually flying over the river right now, and then you can see it winding away that way, the Thames. Farnborough's over there, which is where we did our last episode, so it's out that way. And yeah, very, very simple, very easy little video that we're doing over here. And more so, what I want to do is I want to have it in two forms. So we're going to have the videos that are available on YouTube, which is going to be, you know, everything from basics like what does a speed indicator, and what's it telling you, what are all these bands, what's the green band, what's the white band, what's the yellow band, what's the red band, what's the difference between true airspeed, indicated airspeed, altimeter, what's the point of tuning the altimeter with the barometric pressure, what is barometric pressure, you know, all this explanation. What is an ADF, what is an ILS, what are VORs, what are DMEs, and so all of that, so you can fly in a simulator. And of course we'll be moving from this, we'll go into using PFDs and MFDs on those more advanced aircrafts, so we'll be doing that. And also on top of that, we'll also then have Patreon videos. So these videos are going to be more in-depth videos, more engineering oriented videos as well, talking about wings, talking about flight analysis, stall characteristics of aircraft. How do you know when an aircraft's going to do something? Why are aircraft designed the way they are? And all those things. IFR charts, VFR charts, that's all going to be on Patreon videos. So by watching these videos, if they go ahead, you'll be able to learn how to fly an aircraft. By supporting me on Patreon, you'll not only know how to fly an aircraft, you're also going to learn all the little extra bits and bobs that come with flying an aircraft. A whole load of things, as much detail as possible. So all of that is going to be on Patreon. But don't worry, if you can't support me on Patreon, you are going to get these Flight Sim World videos, or just random flight simulators. I could go into FSX, I could go into X-Plane, I could go into Prepared, where I show you how to fly an aircraft in as much detail as possible. So that's what I want to do. That's definitely what I want to do, and I hope you guys would want me to do something like that, because I would love to take part, and you know, I want to do this. I want to make videos like this because these are the sort of videos I really, really like to do. Is that Biggin Hill just there, or Northolt? Yep, I think that's Biggin Hill actually. So yeah, that's what I want to do. So that's that bit. Now, Flight Sim World. Maybe by the time this video, or by the time you're watching this video, it will be out before Community Update 12. I'm almost certain of it. But maybe by the time you're watching this video, Community Update 12 is already out. If that's the case, some of what I'm about to say may no longer apply. Some of it may still apply. It's, where does Flight Sim World go? Where do they need to improve? What I'm doing here is I'm just going to let myself drift a little bit out this way, so I can get a better approach. I think I'm just a little bit too close to Heathrow here. There we go. There's a little bit of mild turbulence as well. Let's do that. So, where does Flight Sim World go from here? What do they really need to improve on to make this a top-class simulator? Well, optimization, that's first. That has to be done. Without optimization, you are going to have huge, huge issues. This is nowhere near as optimized as Prepared or X-Plane is. And in this industry, it's very, very tough. If you don't have it optimized, if you don't have it going, you're going to have difficulty. Now, the good thing is that obviously this is an early access, so they do have a little bit of leeway in that sense. They have a bit of leeway in that sense that people are like, okay, it's early access, you know, it's something that they can improve upon very soon. You know, they're working on it. They're working on it. They will be improving upon it. And you know, I am in that category. I believe that this can be worked upon. I believe that this can be controlled. By the way, I'm flying almost hands off here. I'm making very minor corrections, but for the most part, apart from turning the aircraft, I'm not actually doing anything here. It's the aircraft is flying of its own accord, so that's fine. This is what I mean. This is something that I like doing. This is something I've now got fairly good at. So I want to pass that knowledge on as best as I possibly can. Right, let's get ourselves now heading west. So they need to really optimize this title. It needs massive optimization. The clouds, people have already commented. You can actually see this if you look towards the center pillar of this. You can see the clouds doing really weird vortices. It's almost like they've got strange eddy currents that are causing it to spin and you know, do all this weird spinning. Now that's obviously not right. So they need to work on that as well. That needs to be definitely worked on, and I think that's causing a lot of my stutters at the moment, because when True Sky first came out, it wasn't doing that, and when it first came out, it was a lot smoother than it is at the moment, and that's kind of concerning. But I'm sure they're working on it. I know there is a True Sky update planned. It may be Community Update 12, so that one, by the time you watch this, that might be fixed. Next up, we need to talk about ground. Ground textures need a huge, huge improvement. I'm getting blown around just a little bit now. Right, I think I should be fairly safe to turn back towards Heathrow. I think so. Right, ground textures need a huge, huge improvement. Right, let's get this turning. Right, they are, of course, they're fine. There's no... well, when I say fine, they are fine to a certain extent. They're okay. They're not anything special, and that's the problem. Everything else is special now. Prepared has these really nice ground textures as default. X-Plane has really nice ground textures as default. And yes, I know the majority of us are probably going to upgrade these ground textures. We're not going to be looking at this and going, oh well, you know, we can just leave it default. but for those people who want to leave it default, those of us who maybe can't afford to upgrade, we want very decent ground textures, and this needs to be improved upon. It's not terrible, but it's not very, I wouldn't say it's brilliant. I'm going to get ourselves descending, because I have a feeling we need the descent now. So I'm going to actually slow us down. There we go. Right, so we need to do that. We definitely need to be doing that. I think we should be actually at 2,000 feet. We should be doing very well towards Heathrow. And I'm looking for runway 9 left if I can. I need to keep descending though. I think runway 9 left should be coming up on us. I'm going to slow us down and keep ourselves descending. I need to get out of these clouds. There's runway 9 left, and we're on the glide slope straight out. How fantastic. Right, let's really slow the aircraft down though. That's brilliant. We're slightly above the glide now, but that's okay. We're doing very well here. Yes, I know, I'm idle. Don't worry about that. Should we take the other runway? I don't know. No, I want to take this runway. So yeah, they need to really improve these ground textures. I mean, you can see here that they do need definite improvement. So that's something that needs to be worked on. The landmass, and that needs to be worked on. Shadows and dynamic lighting. Huge thing here. If you don't have shadows, if you don't have dynamic lighting in a very smooth fashion, you're going to have issues. You're definitely going to have issues. And that's going to be a big problem as well. So that's something they have to look at. And also they need to look at more aircraft. They need to have more aircraft, but these aircraft have to be done very well. And that's, again, I think that's something they can definitely do, but we don't want them to be having more issues than it's worth. Get the aircraft right first, but I think get the environment correct first. Get the environment correct and you'll be absolutely fine. Right. I still want to slow down. But actually, I think this is a very good approach. I don't think I've done an approach this smooth in a while. And stage 1 of flaps. Very nice. Have a look at the compass. The compass card looks like it's got an alpha texture on it. Stage 2. Right, let's see if we can bring it down. I'd say 90 knot landing. I think that would be a reasonable landing for this aircraft. So let's get ourselves sorted out here. Wow, I did not expect that. That was something I did not expect myself to be able to do at all. But there we go. We've got ourselves on the ground. I hope you guys do leave comments letting me know what you want with regards to the... Should we take this one? Yeah, let's take this one actually. With regards to the flight sim tutorials, I want to know, and I hope you guys do want to see that. I would love to make them, and I'm sure I can give you some pretty entertaining content. On the other hand, I also would like to see Patreon support. If you really like my content, please do support me on Patreon. You know, these videos are very difficult to make. They are surprisingly difficult to make, and any professional YouTuber will tell you so, how much work goes into doing these videos, and the amount of sometimes retakes you have to do. There have been videos where you see a half-an-hour video, but it's actually been 90 minutes of recording, and then 45 minutes or 50 minutes of editing, and then rendering, 2 hours of rendering. So you're talking about a 4-hour process or something to actually make one video for you guys to enjoy. So, you know, do consider supporting me on Patreon. I hope you enjoyed that video. I was kind of impressed with my own landing, so thumbs up if you enjoyed that landing. And yeah, I think that's about it. Leave the comments, letting me know, and if I see that you guys want to see these tutorials and you want to see all this sort of stuff, I will certainly start making a few and seeing what the response is. In fact, I'm planning on doing that anyway, but I want to see if you guys really are interested in that. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I hope to see you guys both in another video of Flight Sim World and in a video of Flight Sim tutorials. I'll see you then.